I'm Michael Pincus, the Grape Guy from OntarioWineReview.com, and I'm here at Henry of Pelham with Daniel, Matt, Paul. Wait, nobody can tell them apart. This is actually Daniel Speck, and today we're going to be discussing sparkling wine. So why don't we start with the best part of sparkling wine, opening it, and then we'll talk about how it's made.
Sparkling wine, is a real treat, but you got to be careful with it. This bottle's under 7 atmospheres of pressure. So that means when this cork comes out of the bottle, if you're not careful, it can come out at 60, 70 miles an hour.
And as you're pointing it at me, you're telling me to duck.
That's right, exactly. So you remove the foil, put that back there. Always keep your thumb on top of the cork. Some waiters will put a napkin on top of that. Twist this down. Do not point it at anybody, unless it's the cameraman. That's okay. You twist the cage off. Always keep your thumb over the cork. Now the trick is to twist the bottle while holding the cork. You have more leverage that way. Twist the bottle, and you want it to whisper, not to come out like a cannonball. Let's hear this. That's perfection. So this is the Cuvée Catherine Rosé Brut.
And no lights were broken.
No lights were broken to make this wine.
Or to pour it.
Or to pour it. The real trick with pouring is to pour slowly, and you can actually keep it from foaming over. Now, because we're with Michael, I know it's a full glass day.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're just getting started.
I'm down a quart.
That's right. So you can see the bubbles coming up from the center of the glass. That's actually an indicator of a good glass. The best champagne glasses or sparkling wine glasses have a little nick in the bottom of them so the bubbles trickle from the center. One other thing I should show you with this wine, any sparkling, when you're done, it's worth investing in one of these. I'm sure you've got some at home. A little champagne stopper, it costs you a few dollars. It's easy to put on, and it really does preserve the bubbles. I find with one of these in my fridge, if I keep my fridge pretty cold, I can keep a bottle fresh for close to a week. You lose some pressure, but not a lot.
You don't finish a bottle of sparkling in one sitting?
Well, I'm talking about the second or third bottle.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's
okay.
open, yeah.
So how do the bubbles get into this wine?
The bubbles get into this wine by actually fermenting the juice in the bottle. Each bottle is a unique batch of wine. The trick now is to make that consistent. So fermentation is basically sugar being converted into alcohol by yeast. So the byproduct of that is alcohol and bubbles, so carbon dioxide. So we ultimately ferment the wine, the juice, a variation on the juice, in the bottle with the yeast, and that gives you the bubbles. We trap it in the bottle with a little crown cap, and we age this wine for close to 3 years.
In that same bottle?
In the same bottle.
So this bottle that we are seeing now is the same bottle that the secondary fermentation occurred in?
That's right.
And would also happen with your Cuvée Catherine Brut, which is the white version?
Which is a white. I'll pour this out. So in this case, both wines are made out of a combination of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. The pink, which is in the glass now, is mostly Pinot Noir. You can taste it on the palate, more fruit forward and juicy. The white has a little more Chardonnay in the blend, which gives a little more structure and grace notes. Kind of tastes like a croissant almost, a sort of brioche flavors maybe. And we age the white a little bit longer because it has that Chardonnay in it, just to give it some more of that toastiness. Cheers.
Cheers. And if you smell it, you get the kind of a breadiness, which is from that yeast.
And the yeast, so it's from the natural aging of the juice. Sparkling wine is really unique when you think about it. It's a very crisp white wine, essentially. But you age it for years and years before you release it, which you wouldn't necessarily do with other white wines. And yet, all these years later, it has to still be fresh. It's a real art to make sparkling wine. It's probably the hardest thing we make here at Henry of Pelham.
So the toasty, there's some nice toasty notes in the glass, nice citrus, and some green apple. So I think that's really nice. Along with that bubble, it really plays it right off the tongue.
Absolutely. In contrast, those kind of strawberry flavors are sort of...
Oh yeah, you get the nice red fruit.
And the pink, yeah.
And then across the tongue, there's like some strawberry and hint of cherry in there, so very nice again.
Yeah, it's rarely a day goes by that I don't drink a glass of this wine.
And you're a lucky man.
I do love it.